أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم. إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلنا من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملت أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالأرجون القديم لا شمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم النفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم أن لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكس في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سورة المباركة الفاتحة
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء. اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم أسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترت وكم من فادح من البلاء قلت وكم من عشار وقيت وكم من مكروه دفعت وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرت. اللهم أعظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد أملي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجنايتها ومطالي. يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك أن لا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لغيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدودك وخالفت بعض أوامرك فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي، يا من بدا خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك والسالف برك بي، يا إلهي وسيدي وربي. أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيت أو تبعد من أدنيت أو تشرد من آويت أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمت. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه قرت لعظمتك ساجدا وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا وبشكرك مادحا وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنا. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم. يا ربي وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثور يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي لأي الأمور إليك أشكو ولما منها ضج وأبكي لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته. فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهلي بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك وهبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجاء عفوك فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج العاملين ولا أصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين ولا أبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين ولو نادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين يا غاية آمال العارفين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين ويا إله العالمين أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفتي وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيتي وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك أم كيف يحرق لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانا أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفا أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا أم كيف تزجر زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربا أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك فباليقين يقضوا لولا ما حكمت به من تعظيم جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كانت لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدعا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمت وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررت وكل جهل عملت كتمت أو أعلنت أغفيت أو أظهرت وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلت، أو إحسان فضلت، أو بر نشرت، أو رزق بسطت، أو ذنب تغفره، أو خطايا تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بضر ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا، وبخدمتك موصولا، وأعمالي عندك مقبولا، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، قوي على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدماتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في البارزين، وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد، ومن كادني فكد، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، واقربهم منزلة منك، وخصم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، واجد لي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، واقلني عثرتي، واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس مال الرجاء، وسلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقام، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بي ما أنت أهله. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله، وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سورة المباركة الفاتحة.
صلو علی محمد وآل محمد. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. لوری ارمان سے بھرپور سنا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. تو جو روئے گا تو ماں چین نہیں پائے گی. تیرے رونے سے سکینہ بھی تڑپ جائے گی. ہو جا خاموش میں بابا کو بلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. ایسا لگتا ہے ابھی رات گزر جائے گی پھر میرے لال تجھے مائے کہاں پائے گی. تیرے جھولے کو میں ایک بار جھلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج عباس بھی مقتل میں چلے جائیں گے تیرے بابا بھی تجھے ساتھ میں لے جائیں گے. آ تجھے گود میں ایک بار اٹھا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. صلوات علی محمد وآل محمد. اللہم صلی علی محمد وعلی محمد.
رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ونعم المولى ونعم النصير. والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على وآل أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. وقل رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتاب الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. زينوا مجالسكم بالصلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. My respected elders, brothers and sisters in Iman, salamun alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Question: how many people are imprisoned? Keep that question in the back of your mind, inshallah, we'll return to it. When we look at the life and times of our seventh holy Imam, Imam Musa ibn Ja'far al-Kadhim, salawatullah wa salamu alayh, and we look at his personality and his existence and who he is, he lived in a very interesting time in history. In particular, Islamic history and more generally in world history. He lived in Baghdad in a time where society seemed to be flourishing in terms of knowledge, in terms of wisdom, in terms of many dimensions of life, in terms of mysticism. And yet being in a place and a time at this moment, he being imprisoned much of his life, still left a mark not only on Islam but on the world at large. And we'll explore in the next few moments how that was in fact. In the next few moments that we have together, I'd like to share with you what were the different categories of individuals that the Imam alayhi salam was facing while he was apparent with the people and while he was especially in prison. Number one. Number two, what was Baghdad of its time where the Imam was living much of his life and its relation to us as world citizens today? And number three, what is the concept and philosophy of a prison? How does this relate to the life of the Imam alayhi salam himself and perhaps ours? This is what are the 3 points that I want to cover in the brief moments that we have together, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I know we're living in times that are challenging and perhaps unprecedented, at least in our lifetime. And it's important to derive jewels of wisdom from the lives of the Imams and how they dealt with adversity. And I hope to shed light on that in the brief moments that we have together. The Imam alayhi salam was following in the legacy of his fathers. If you look at particularly the Imams, that is the 5th Imam, the 6th Imam, the 7th Imam, and the 8th Imam. This particular period in the history of the Imamah was a period in time where these Imams had the opportunity, relatively at least, to share their wisdom and knowledge and make it apparent to the people. That is not to say that the other Imams did not have knowledge. That is not to say that the other Imams did not have wisdom. That is not to say that the other Imams were not intellectuals. No. That is to say that these particular Imams had some opportunities to express their wisdom with the world and share it. As you know, the other Imams, many of them were in persecutions. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen had this. But the 5th, 6th, and 7th Imam and 8th Imam in particular had the ability at some level to express their knowledge. There were 3 categories of individuals that the Imam was facing. This was right around the time in history that Baghdad was considered the center of knowledge, not only for Islamic knowledge, but for worldly knowledge. This is that era in time which modern contemporary historians of the world say that historically the center of knowledge for the world for this period in particular, the area of 800 to 1100 AD that historians say is the golden age of Islam. This is right around the peak of the beginning of that era. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam has laid the foundation, and Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam's era is building upon that. So who are the people and the categories that the Imam is facing in this era? Number one, in terms of Islamic history, he is facing the jurists. The jurists, that is the fuqaha of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, our brothers in Islam, those main scholars are in this time period. They're contemporaries of the Imam. The likes of Abu Hanifa, Imam Abu Hanifa of our brothers, Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Hanbali. All of these individuals are contemporaries of the Imams. So when we look at the jurisprudence of the Muslim world, it's emerging during this time as contemporaries of the Imam alayhimus salam. To the extent that if you read the books of history, I invite my brothers and sisters in Islam, in the Muslim world in general, to see the history and to see the heritage of the scholars of the past with respect to their relationship with the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Why? Because there is a narrative perhaps today that sometimes when we commemorate the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, when we commemorate the family of the Ahlul Bayt, of the Holy Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt at large, sometimes people say that we are being divisive perhaps. That we are focusing too much on a particular segment, we should also talk about other people. I would invite our brothers and sisters to look at the history of Islam from an unbiased perspective and look at the sunnah of the scholars of Ahlul Sunnah. How? They say at the age of 9, Hanbalis are considered a minority within the school of Islam in terms of jurisprudence and fiqh. Many of them are followers of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal in the Khalij, the Middle East in particular. This was an individual who by the age of 9, they say he could give fatwa, he could give his rulings. And by the time he was 19, he was giving dars in Baghdad, where Imam al-Kadhim is. At that point in time, when Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam was martyred, the rulers called upon Ahmad ibn Hanbal and many other scholars of the time to look at the body of Imam al-Kadhim to bear witness that he has died of natural causes. This 19-year-old Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, when he came there, he's a young man, he saw the body of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. When he saw the body, he said, I will not, no matter what you do, if you imprison me for the entirety of my life, I will not give this verdict and bear witness that he died of natural causes. Said, why? They said, because I've seen the body and it is filled with lashes of the whip. I can see it with my own eyes. The idea was that first, the concept of the zulm that was done on the Imam, number one. Number two, the honesty and integrity of the scholars to say that it doesn't matter how much I'm paid. It doesn't matter what you'll give me. In fact, don't give me anything, take my life. By the way, when they sent Ahmad ibn Hanbal, when they sent him, they gave him an entire sack of gold. He said, I have no interest in your gold. He says, the truth is more important to me. I invite this because we live in a world where scholarship may not have that integrity today. That if I have a particular agenda anywhere in the world, I can push that agenda many times through scholarship. This wasn't always the case. And I invite my brothers and sisters to look at what was the sunnah of their own scholars. Abu Hanifa, the student of Imam al-Sadiq, Imam Malik, Imam al-Shafi'i. Imam al-Shafi'i who's saying in his poetry, until when, and until which time will you blame me for loving this man? Referring to Imam Ali alayhi salam. He said, was Fatima al-Zahra married to anyone except him? And was Ayat Hal Ata revealed for anyone except them? Referring to Surah Al-Dahr, Surah Al-Insan. Hal Ata al-Insan hina min al-Dahr. All Muslims have a consensus that the entire Surah Al-Dahr, also known Surah Al-Insan, was revealed for Ahlul Bayt. Some say the first few verses, 18 verses. But there's a consensus at least that much was definitely, in fact most say the whole surah. This was the sunnah, this was the manhaj, the school of thought of the Muslim world, not the followers of Shia, of Tashayyu. I invite the world to look at it. Number one, and in this environment, Imam al-Kadhim also gave responses, even when in prison, to the followers, to tell them what is our view, the view of the Ahlul Bayt, the school of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. What's the view? Despite all these other schools being there. I say this in particular because for those who follow Ayatollah Sistani, may Allah protect him inshallah, in this circumstance, he is of the school of thought that is important to even in our derivation of fiqh, in his mindset, in his view of how he derives fiqh and jurisprudence, it's important to know the context of revelation. And if you need to know the context of revelation, it's very important to know what was the view of other Ahl Sunnah scholars in Medina and in Baghdad and throughout the world. That's how you will know what the Imam was referring to when he was responding. Because the Imam is not giving a response and is not giving riwayat, he's not giving traditions in a vacuum. They argue that you must, according to this school of thought, there are other schools of thought amongst the Maraja, but according to Sayyid Sistani, you must understand the environment in which the Imam lived, because there's a principle, the Ahlul Bayt speak to people at their level of understanding. That means the Imam was responding to people in that time and place. Therefore, you must have an understanding of what was Abu Hanifa's view, what was Imam Malik's view, what was Imam Shafi'i's view, what was Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal's view. The Imam responded to the jurists to their ability, number one. Number two, that was the era and time where Greek philosophy was being translated from Greek to Arabic. In fact, when the libraries of Alexandria and others were burnt, much of Greek philosophy was lost. And it wasn't until the world came to the Arabian world, who had translated the works from Greek into Arabic, that it was preserved. Now, in history, many people come forward and say that it was, the Arabs or the Muslims only translated the works of the Greeks. This is not entirely true. I say this why? Because when the Greeks used to teach their philosophy, they had a particular order. I say this bearing in mind that the Imam is not just Islamic sciences, religious sciences. Look at the environment the Imam is. In totality and humanitarian intellect, Imam is giving a response. In that era, in that time, the way the Greeks used to teach their curriculum, they had a schedule, a curriculum, an agenda. Book 1, book 2, book 3, all the way down the line. And there was a prerequisite to each book. The first book, then the second, you build on the first. But when the Arabs and the Muslims got these books, they didn't translate these books, book 1, book 2, book 3. What would happen was they would get book 5, then book 4, then book 9, and they translated them as they were available. Why is this significant? This is important and this is significant because when you analyze and you look at these, they came out with their own understanding and derived new insights that the original authors themselves had not come about. But much of Muslim history, or Islamic history for that fact, is not known for me, to us, to many of us. For those in the Muslim world, there are some initiatives, such as the Museum of Islamic History in Sharjah and other places. You can find some of these things. But for the vast Muslim world, many people don't know about these historical elements. So the Imam was also responding to Greek philosopher and the philosophers of the time. Why? Because the rulers of the time, in particular Harun al-Rashid, as people call him, we do not say Rashid, of course. Because remember, two things. Rashid, many people who don't have Arabic backgrounds become aware of this later. Whether it's the term Khulafa Rashidun, that is the rightly guided, the same is applicable to Harun when people say Ar-Rashid, meaning the rightly guided. Of course, we don't believe that. If we did believe that, then we would be following him. The same with the first three Khulafa before Amir al-Mu'mineen. That's not our belief. That's the belief of others. So Harun al-Abbasi, somebody may say. This person had a level of animosity towards the Ahlul Bayt that was unprecedented throughout times. And he was someone who went to no measure. He left no measure in terms of his animosity to Ahlul Bayt. I'll give you an example. There are certain people who trace their lineage back to the Imams. They're called the Sadat. In particular, you'll find many Kadhimi Sadat. Many people who are Sayyids from the line of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. They're also Shia and they're also non-Shias, many of them. As you know, the history of Shiaism, there was much persecution. Because of this great level of persecution, because of this occurring, what ended up happening over history is many people went into taqiyya to save their lives. They protected their faith. So when this happened intergenerationally, what happened was people lost their view. And there's also a theory that many of the Sufis, who we'll come to in a moment, those people were also Shias who were in taqiyya. Nonetheless, one of these people is an individual who is known as Lal Shahbaz Qalandar. He is buried in modern day Pakistan, in Sindh. He was someone who traced his lineage from Ibrahim. You know Ibrahim ibn Mujab, who is buried in Karbala in Imam Husseini's haram? The one who used to, Mujab meaning the one who receives a response. That when he would say, when we give our salam to the Imam, there is a response, but many of us cannot hear it. He was that individual, Ibrahim al-Mujab, that when he would say salam to the Imam would respond. Why? This is for another day. Because of his respect for his parents, the Imam had honored him. He was from the line of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. Nonetheless, this person who is buried in Sehwan, in Sindh, in Pakistan, was from the line of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar, from the line of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. Before he got to modern day Sindh, he was actually traveling through what is now modern day Uzbekistan or Bukhara. Bukhara was a center of knowledge at that time. When he was passing through, the ruler of Bukhara stopped him and he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am a Sayyid from the line of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam." He said, "Harun al-Rashid," the ruler said, "Harun didn't leave any Sadat alive. How are you from his line?" This was the level of animosity and how much zulm Harun was doing on the followers of Ahlul Bayt, in particular, those who were Sadat. Do you know what the books of history say? The books of history say that there was a particular scent that Sadat, people from the lineage of Ahlul Bayt, used to have. The same scent that when Rasulullah used to say in hadith, with respect to Fatima al-Zahra, whenever I longed for paradise, I smelled the neck of Fatima. That scent was transferred to the Sadat. But the Imam al-Kadhim, during that time, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift that scent away so that Harun and the other Abbasid rulers could not identify who were from the line of the Ahlul Bayt. But of course the promise of Inna Atayna al-Kawthar is its own. And the traditions tell us that when the Imam comes, when our 12th Imam comes, that scent will be given back. Nonetheless, this was the level of animosity that was done on the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. Still the Imam did his work. He responded to the philosophers because Harun would call gatherings and he would say, "We just have these philosophers, they have some questions." The goal of philosophers, the goal of many of these intellectuals and these gatherings was for the Abbasids to draw attention away from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Even mathematics and chemistry, they patronized many of it. But it was in order to drive interest away from Ahlul Bayt. The third category of people, who are they? The Sufis, the mystics. Some of the greatest mystics of our brothers in Ahlul Sunnah, particularly the Sufis, lived during this time and era of the Imam. And the Imam responded to all of them. Yes, there may be some elements that they have in similarity with us. For example, the reverence of Amir al-Mu'minin of Imam Ali alayhi salam. That all of their lines of our Sufi brothers, all of their chains go back to Amir al-Mu'minin, except one, the Naqshbandi order. And even in that, there are 3 branches, 3 of them, 2 of them go back to Amir al-Mu'minin. In fact, there are 4, 3 of them go to Amir al-Mu'minin, 1 goes to Abu Bakr. There's such a strong connection. Yet, the Imam said there are certain views of theirs that have gone apart. As you know, the same Imam, when the 6th Imam passed away, there was another group that was calling for Ismaili. They were saying that we don't believe that after the elder son must be it. But there's a whole tradition about how we authenticate and verify the 7th Imam's imamah. There were all these different groups. The Imam responded to them. But I want to turn to the second main element of tonight's discussion. That discussion is related to what was the circumstance of Baghdad at that time. The Sufis believe in a tradition which we also believe in from the Holy Prophet. The tradition says, "Mutu qabla an tamutu." Die before you die. Keep this one in mind. We'll return to it in just a moment. We're told with respect to the Imam alayhi salam, his merits, his akhlaq, his ethics were at such a high grade, at such a high level, that one day there was a servant within the house. When the servant was within the house, the servant had some hot soup, according to the tradition. This is found with respect to Imam Hassan alayhi, also Imam Kadhim alayhi salam. That hot soup fell. They tripped, they lost their balance, the soup fell. When that fell, it was hot, the Imam alayhi salam looked and saw what had happened. The person who was working felt afraid, got shocked, natural inclination. When this happened, they started reciting a verse of the Quran to the Imam, so the Imam doesn't get upset. What did they say? وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. And they control their anger. The Imam smiled because the Imam knew the verse was directed at the Imam. Because the person was afraid. The Imam said, I've controlled my anger. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. The person continued. And they forgive the people. The Imam smiled, I've forgiven you. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. The servant finishes the verse, or finishes the segment. Then at that point in time, the Imam smiles, and the verse says that, and Allah loves the ones who do good. Imam smiles, I have freed you in Allah's way. This was the control that the Imam had over his nafs. Why do I say this? When we look at the life of the Imam gave us gems, even in a short period of time. What types of gems? And we're getting at the crux and the conclusion of the conversation. Why? The Imam is passing through Baghdad. There is a tradition that we have in our books that the scholars have debated on. What is the tradition? The tradition says that it is not acceptable, it is not recommended, it is frowned upon. There is karaha in spending the night in Kadhimain, in Baghdad. It's not recommended to spend the night. And there's a debate about what is the meaning behind this. Why? Some say, oh, it's because of the blood that was shed in Kadhimain of the Shia. This is one view. Some scholars say this is not acceptable. Why? Because Karbala has more blood than any place. And Karbala is a blessed land. The blood of the martyrs, particularly the innocent people who gave their life to protect Islam, is blessed blood. Why would it be something negative? They say this is not the reason. They give another reason. They say Kadhimain, in particular Baghdad at that time, Baghdad at large, was a place that was the head of intellectual activity, science, mathematics, chemistry, all of this. But at the same time, it was, as a city develops, and if you read sociology and anthropology, as a city develops, whether it's Tokyo or Japan, in Japan, or New York City, or Paris, or London, and we're seeing this more and more with the dynamics of how viruses spread, in a concentrated metropolitan, where there's intellectual activity, a byproduct and a side effect of that is vice. So the nightlife of Baghdad at that time was second to none in that time. It's where music was running all night, dancing was all night, drinking was all night. Every vice you could think of was there. And the scholars say it was because of the time and place in which the Imam lived that he was drawing attention to that. Imam alayhi salam is walking and he's doing his ibadah, he's walking by in the streets of Baghdad going to his destination. When on that night he hears music coming from a house, which was common and normal at that time. The servant of the household, the lady, she was taking out the trash, as we would call it, the garbage. And when she's taking it out, the Imam is passing by at that very time, and he says, who's the owner of this house? She says, it's a man by the name of Bishr, who became to be known as Bishr al-Afi. This is Bishr, or Bashar. He said, tell me one thing. Imam says to the servant, can you answer a question? Yes. The question is, this man who lives in this house where this music is playing, is he a free man or a slave? The Imam at that time, she doesn't know who it is. The Imam is asking a question to the servant. He said, I work here, I'm the servant, there's music playing there. All the signs around you indicate that this is the house of a free man. It's a free man, obviously. He's not a servant. He's a free man. The Imam said, I thought so. Seems like he's a free man. Because if he was a slave, he wouldn't be acting this way. The Imam went his way. After some moments, the owner of the house, Bishr, he begins to think, he said, where's the servant? The servant comes back, he said, it took you too long, what happened? You went to take the trash out. It took you a long time, what's going on? Come back quicker. He said, yes, she said, I was throwing out the trash, but there was a man who was passing by. He took my time. So what did he say? He asked me a question. What was the question? The question was, is this house, is it the house of a free man or a slave? So what did you say? I said, of course, it's the house of a free man. He's having a party at his house, everything's going well, he's having music, he owns the place, I work for him. What did he say? He said, the man said, it seems like he's a free man. Because if he was a slave, he wouldn't be acting this way. This line hit Bishr's heart so hard, he ran without his shoes. And they called him the shoeless. And he went after the Imam. And he found the Imam. He said, that line hit me like a bullet, in my words. That if I was a servant of someone, I wouldn't be acting in this way. Meaning the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That man thought he was free in worldly terms. But he was not free in worldly terms, even. The world says you're free if you get to choose what you do. But he was still a prisoner to something. He was a servant to something. What was he a servant to? He was a servant to his nafs. Whereas Islam says become a servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? You know, there's many people in the world, the rate of imprisonment in the United States has increased tremendously. There's a big philosophy in our world behind prison. Why prison? Is prison meant to punish, or is it meant to correct? Is the goal of a prison to punish someone for something evil they've done, or is it to reform people to become better members of society? In fact, based on this philosophy, you will find certain prisons in Scandinavia being more humane, for example, versus other prisons. Sometimes you'll find in certain parts in the Middle East, I heard about one judge saying that you can either go to prison for this long or you can read this many books in place of it. Maybe for some people reading books is like prison, I don't know. But in this case, the Imam was, or this jurist who was a judge was saying that if you read a book, it will reform you to become a better person in society. In prison, even in the isolation one, sometimes people have access to amenities. They eat like you and I eat. They sleep like you and I sleep. You know, they even have access to television. Now mine and your television may be a little bit bigger, but it's still a television. The point being that we may not realize it, and especially this time where we're suffering and this difficulty that is emerging and humanity is suffering from this virus that's spreading, many of us are at home now more. And it gives us a moment to introspect. What the Imam told Bishr is what the Imam is telling you and I as well. We may be imprisoned the same way that others are in jail, however we may not realize it. But what are we in prison to? Mutu qabla an tamutu. Die before you die. What death is that death? The death before the physical death. That is the death according to the spiritual mystics of Shia Islam. That is the death of the ego, which many of us are not willing to kill. The way the ego manifests itself is that I have to win. Whether that's with my relative, I have to win. Whether that's with my spouse, I have to win. Whether that's with my siblings or my children, or whether that's a business partner, anyone in life, I have to win. And you may not realize it, and I may not realize it, but we are prisoner to that. Imam alayhi salam, according to traditions, the seventh Imam, he spent either 7 years or 10 years or 14 years, or some say even more than that, over 20 years in prison. We don't have the exact number, but most historians say 14 years he spent in prison. But he didn't say, I've been imprisoned and I've lost. No, he thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, my Lord, you've given me the opportunity to worship you in seclusion. Allahu Akbar. How much will this environment, may Allah protect all of us in this circumstance, in this environment, but how many of us will use this time to introspect and detach ourselves and see where our ego is coming in? Where's the ego coming in with the spouse, with the children, with the family, at home? And build on that when the world opens up again, inshallah. Where is that ego coming in the workplace, in my community, in my society? Don't be a prisoner to that. The Imam is telling us. The Imam spent, and I'm coming to the musibah, the Imam had a tremendous musibah. 7 years or 10 years or 14 years, or more than 20 years, the Imam spent in prison. मौला को इंतहाए असीरी गुजर गई, मौला पे इंतहाए असीरी गुजर गई. Zindan mein jawani o piri guzar gayi. The poet says, Dabir. He says the limit of imprisonment and difficulty was on the Imam. What happened? His youth and his old age, they all went into prison. The Imam alayhi salam, they would say that there was, if you put a cloth over him, and they used to put a cloth over him, when someone would come to visit, they would say, where's the Imam? When they would see that there's just a cloth there, they said he's under the cloth. They were in shock. It looked like it was a straight cloth. That is how little food the Imam used to get in the prison. And yet this Imam spent his time in ibadah. Harun al-Abbasi, he sent for certain grapes that had been infused with poison to be sent to the Imam. When he sent these to the Imam knew, and he's following the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He saw the grapes, he took one, two, he ate three. He was eating one and then he would stop. They said, take more. He ate third one and he finished. The Imam alayhi salam knew, and he wanted to show the people. Harun's messenger had brought Harun's dog with him, the tradition says. When he brought it, the Imam gave one of the grapes to the dog. As soon as the dog ate it, he fell unconscious right there and then, and he died. When Harun came back, when the messenger came back with the grapes at that point in time, Harun said, where's my dog? He said, the Imam, when you gave him the grapes, he ate it. He took one of the grapes, he gave it to the dog. The dog ate it. When the dog ate it, he fell dead there and then. Harun at that moment became very upset. He says, my most expensive dog, you take it with you and it comes back dead? This was Harun's mindset. The Imam alayhi salam, he's killed the Imam. He's worried about his dog. This is where Allah says that when the hearts become blind, He lets them do more sin. So they add to their sins. The Imam, the blood began to go through the body of the Imam. When the blood began to go through the body of the Imam's body, his soul departed. They asked, Harun asked the scholars of the time to come and see the body and say that it was natural causes. They all came. When they all came, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the same one, he came forward and said, I will not give this fatwa, and I will not say this was natural causes, because the body is showing itself how he has died. At that moment in time, they took the body of the Imam onto the bridge in Baghdad, and they said, this is the person who calls himself the Imam of the Shia. He is the one who calls himself the Imam of the Shia. Now he has departed and he has died. At that point in time, there was a traveler who was passing by. He says, who is this? They said, this is the person they call Musa ibn Ja'far. He says, why is he in this state? Why have they not buried him? Why they're not taking care of him? He says that I will take care of it. At that point in time, in Medina, our 8th Imam was in Medina, and the Imam had said to the watchman who was watching over the family, make sure that you look after my children and make sure you look after them at night. One night he says that I was looking after Imam al-Rada and he was not home. We were looking everywhere for him, but when the day broke, when Fajr time, just after it emerged, we saw the Imam coming back home. He had no shoes on, he had not covered his head. They said, Yabna Rasulillah, where have you come from? He says, I am just coming back from Baghdad. I have buried my father in the most difficult of circumstances. He began to cry, he began to wail, because when they wanted to remove those shackles, they said the person who was to remove the shackles, Harun wanted the shackles removed so that there is no evidence. He says, the man who was responsible for removing the shackles, he says, I cannot remove the shackles. Harun says, why? He says, because the shackles have gone and cut into the flesh and blood of the Imam. At that time, they asked Imam al-Rada, they said, Imam al-Rada, was there any wasiyah? Was there any final words that the Imam said, that your father said to you? He said, yes. He said something that broke my heart. He says, what did he say? He says, my father father said, my son, bury me in these shackles. He said, why? He says, so that on Yawmul Qiyamah I meet my grandfather Rasulullah in the same state in which I died. That, Ya Rasulullah, your ummah shackled me and put me in the dungeon. Ajrukum ala Allah. But turn your heart one time to Karbala and then to Sham. It is the same Sham. There is the 4-year-old daughter of Imam al-Hussein. The same daughter. The marks of the whips. Her cloth had stuck to her body. They buried, Allah knows the heart of Imam Sajjad. What went through his heart. And Imam al-Kadhim, 1,000 salams on you. But who is the Gharib al-Ghuraba? Who Imam al-Rada even said is Gharib al-Ghuraba. The horse's hooves trampled over the body of Sayyid al-Shuhada.
ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Ya Allah, we ask you to grant us shifa by Babul Hawaj Musa ibn Ja'far al-Kadhim. Ya Allah, we ask that anyone who is grieving, anyone who is ill in this time, by Babul Hawaj, who you've asked us to do dua through his wasila and his tawassul, that we have special duas, especially anyone who's going through an eye ailment or any ailment, should ask by the wasila and the tawassul of Babul Hawaj. We are told in traditions, even Imam al-Shafi'i said that if anyone has an ailment, it is not possible that you do not get shifa from the tomb of Musa al-Kadhim. Oh, Ya Allah, we ask you, the whole humanity, the world is suffering. Grant those who are suffering, grant anyone who is in need, grant them shifa by Babul Hawaj Musa ibn Ja'far al-Kadhim. Ya Allah, allow us to increase our spirituality. Allow us to be freed from the shackles of our ego, from the shackles of difficulty, from the shackles of imprisonment, whatever they may be, the anger that we face, the greed that we face, the difficulties that we face. Allow us to be free and allow us to be your servants and truly your servants. Ya Allah, hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time and allow us to be his companions when he returns. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ma'atam Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
آئی فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، آئی فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، قتل ہوئے بے خطا موسی کاظم غریب، آئی فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، قتل ہوئے بے خطا موسی غریب، تیرا برس قید تھے اور تھے بیمار بھی، تیرا برس قید تھے اور تھے بیمار بھی، تھی نہ دوا بے غذا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، قتل ہوئے بے خطا موسی کاظم، آپ کے 40 تھے اہل عیال و یتیم، آپ کے 40 تھے اہل عیال و یتیم، لاش پہ کوئی نہ تھا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، قتل ہوئے بے خطا موسی کاظم، لاش مقدس رہی جسر پہ بغداد کے، لاش مقدس رہی جسر پہ بغداد کے، کوئی نہ پرسا ہوا موسی کاظم غریب، آئی فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، آئے فلک سے صدا موسی کاظم غریب، قتل ہوئے بے خطا موسی، آمین، लाते हैं हम माल जो किसका जनाजा है ये, लाते हैं हम माल जो किसका जनाजा है ये, हाय ये क्या हो गया मूसी काज़िम गरीब, हाय फलक से सदा मूसी काज़िम गरीब, आई फलक से सदा मूसी काज़िम गरीब, कत्ला हुए बेखता मूसी काज़िम गरीब। सूरत मुबारकत अल-फातिहा। السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله، السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله، السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله، السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله، السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله، السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام ولي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى، السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى، السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثار والوتر الموتور، أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وأتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونحيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين، فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سميت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأسلاب الشامخة والأرحام المتحرة، لم تنجسك الجاحلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلحمات ثيابها، وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين، وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التكي الرذي الزكي والحادي المهدي، وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وعلام الحدى والأروة الوثقى وحجة على أهل الدنيا، وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبيا بكم موقن بشرع ديني وخواتيم عملي، وكلبي لكلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع، صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن حسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليك يا أولياء الله وأحباه، السلام عليك يا أسفياء الله وأوداه، السلام عليك يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليك يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الولي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله بأبي أنتم وعمي تبتم وتابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوسيين، السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلامه وأقدمهم إيمانه وأقومهم بدين الله وأخوتهم على الإسلام. أشهد لك أن نسحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسه. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة زلمتك، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر والأخ الدافي والنخيل المجيب إلى طاعة ربي الراغب فيما زهد في غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. وألحقك الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء وبعيد المدى. السلطان أبا الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا حجة الله ابن الحسن يا ساهم العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان. السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد.